Hello. Admit. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I see Bianca, Donette, Leslie. What's up, ladies? Welcome. We are going to get started shortly. Just going to give people a few minutes. So for you guys who are here extra early and on time, please drop your name in the chat box. I want to know who you are, your brand name, and where you are tuning in from. Okay, hey Leslie, I see you. Thank you for being here. So Leslie is actually the owner of a company called Golden Life Ventures, a travel company. So she is hopefully going to be helping my husband and I try to figure out how to do a vacation sometime in this lifetime. So let me know your name, your brand, and where you are tuning in from. Okay, we have Donette here. Donette is currently in Dumbo, Brooklyn. Oh my gosh, I love Brooklyn. I used to live in Crown Heights. Cool. So she said her brand is Just Me. Donette, it is more than just you. Donette is a creative aesthetics genius. Thank you for joining. All right, we have Bianca. What's up, Bianca Nicole? From the States, and her business is Tantric Soul Birth. Ooh, what is that? And she is tuning in from Costa Rica. Welcome, Bianca. Glad to have you ladies here. We're just gonna wait a few more minutes, let everybody tune in, and then we'll get started. All right, so those of you who are here, I am going to share my screen with you shortly. And we'll just wait about 3 minutes to let those latecomers join us. Cool. I'm so excited about this training, you guys. I feel like I keep talking to entrepreneurs who are just really having this struggle with how to really articulate who they are, what makes them special, and how and why their customers should even care, right, enough to buy from them. And so I feel like enough people have asked me some of the same questions for me to put together this little training here. So I'm excited. I can't wait to dive in here. If you guys have anything, those of you who are on the call now, if you guys have any specific questions or anything that you really, really want to take away from this webinar, please drop it in the chat box now. I want to know what it is. So I can make sure that you walk away with that, right? So I can make sure that I touch on whatever your challenges are. I feel like it's too quiet in here and I need to like... All right, 1 more minute and we are going to dive in, ladies. Okay, so some of the challenges people are having. So getting out of your own way. Okay, that is a major, major challenge I hear all the time. I think sometimes as founders, as the creator of whatever your product or service is, you know, it's really hard to think objectively. So definitely get that struggle, Bianca. All right, so a few more people have joined here. Welcome. So if you are just now joining, please drop your name, the name of your brand here, and also what you want to get out of today's webinar. Welcome, welcome. People are keep joining here. I'm so glad that people are showing up. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm always scared that I'm going to put something together and no one's going to show. All right, Leslie. Okay, so biggest challenge, the marketing part of brand marketing. Perfect. Okay, so Leslie has a background in PR, versus marketing, so it's hard to know how to best market myself and my business. Okay, perfect. Yeah, definitely relatable. Want to make sure you walk away with some core things that are going to help you market yourself, Leslie. All right, cool. So I am getting ready to share my screen. I know people will be joining, as we go through this. I think I got everyone who's joining here, what you guys want to walk away with. Oh, I'm still just missing one. So if you'd still like to share one thing that you want to walk away with today, please feel free to do that. Welcome, Laura. Just drop your name, the name of your business, and what you want to walk away with today, okay? So let me just share my screen. Now, if you guys see my desktop, do not judge me because it's a reflection of my life. All right, so can everyone see my screen here? All right, cool. All right. So let's get started, guys. All right, so today's webinar training is all about how to tell the story that only you can sell. And I was saying that I'm super duper excited to be doing this training because this is what I love to do. And I believe in stories so much. And I know that story is truly the answer to any brand marketing challenge that you may be facing. Okay, so we're going to dive right in. So recently I sat down with Forbes and I shared 3 authenticity principles for brand storytelling success. And the response to that article was really so great. And I got a lot of questions coming in from entrepreneurs, particularly Black female entrepreneurs, wanting to know how they can tell their brand story in a way that is authentic and feels real, but that still makes them money and doesn't quote unquote limit them, right, in the marketplace. Okay, so overall, I feel like as entrepreneurs, we are sometimes scared to let our true selves show. We are sometimes scared to, really reveal what some of our core values are or some of our core beliefs are. And so I really wanted to put together this training to help show everyone that it is possible to be authentic and profitable in your brand story. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that today during this training. So welcome to those of you who just joined. If you just joined, drop your name and your brand and what you want to get out of today's webinar in the chat box. Cool. All right. So that's why I wanted to put this training together. Now, if this is our first time connecting, I am Amber Williams. I'm the creator of a brand storytelling agency called Punky Player. And Punky Player is based here in Washington, D.C., and I work with early stage ventures and startups, mostly in the beauty, fashion, and lifestyle space, who are looking to understand their audience, communicate their vision, and sell with story. And so over the past 5 years, I've had the fortunate opportunity to craft brand stories for some of the leading, beauty and tech businesses today. So I've worked with Heat Free Hair, I've worked with Camille Rose, Black and Green. I've even helped brand a few individuals, Dr. Vanessa Marie Perry out of New York City, and I've even branded a chef, okay? So It's been an amazing journey over the years for me to see how much story has transformed my clients' businesses. And so using story, my clients have been able to land wholesale contracts in retailers like Target, Whole Foods, Walmart stores nationwide. My clients have also had their brand stories picked up amongst publications like Forbes, Elle, Inc., and even been placed in magazines like Vogue. And most importantly, I've been able to help my clients scale their businesses from 5 figures to 6 figures and from 6 figures to 7 figures through my StoryCraft methodology. So trust me when I say story does work. It absolutely works. And I'm going to walk you through some of the foundational principles that I always help my clients establish in crafting their brand story. As we go through this webinar, if you have a question about anything that I say or anything that I brought up and you want to know how it can apply to your business, please put it in the chat box, okay? Don't be shy. Like, the whole reason I did this live is so you guys could come to me and I could give you that one-on-one advice that does apply to your business, all right? So I kept this webinar group intimate so we could do just that. So drop your questions. Every couple of slides, I'm going to be checking it and I will stop and answer your question. All right, there may be some questions that we save to the end for Q&A, but please feel comfortable in dropping your questions in the chat box here. All right, so let's get started. Let's get started, ladies. So, oh my gosh, I'm trying to go to the next slide. Here we go. So why are you here? Why are you guys here? So some of you sent me, messages on social media. Some of you guys responded to that email that I sent yesterday. And these are some of the things that I heard from you. You're here in this training because you want to set yourself apart from your competitors, okay? Everyone wants to do that. And I completely relate to that because in today's marketplace, there is absolutely nothing new under the sun, okay? What you are doing has been done before. But it's interesting and unique because it's never been done by you, all right? So some of the tips that I'm going to share are going to help you harness that power of you to really set yourself apart from your competitors. Some of you are also here because you need to articulate what truly makes you special, but you can't quite figure out how to do that. How to place that into a story that really persuades people to buy and doesn't just sound nice, right? Another reason why you may be here is because you have an idea in your head. You're not quite a business, you're in the idea phase, and you want to work to establish and define your new brand, okay? And this is the absolute right place to start with your story. Or you know that you have something amazing to offer the world, but the people that you want to reach, right? The very people that you created your brand to serve don't even know you exist, which is a problem, right? So you need to figure out how to grab their attention so that they know that you're here and that you have something that's going to help make their lives better. If there's any other reason why you're tuning into this webinar, that's news to me. So let me know in the chat box if there's some other reason why you are on this training today. So all solvable, all things that we are going to touch on in this training. So story is the answer to all of those challenges that you're having. And the clients that I just mentioned are absolutely living proof of that. I have seen story completely transform businesses. I've seen it scale businesses into the million. I have seen story truly set people apart. I've seen story take a business that has nothing even worth selling and scale it up into the 6- and 7-figure range. All right, so story is extremely powerful. So what is a brand story? Right? One of the things that I want you guys to keep in mind as we go through this training and as you go about building your brand in general is that people don't buy products, they buy stories. And this is a really, really powerful insight, because if you think about any kind of irrational customer behavior today, the reason why, or the driving force behind that irrational behavior, is usually a very persuasive story. And so when I was 19 years old, I'll give you an example. I became obsessed with this skincare line called La Mer. Now, La Mer has what is now almost a $300 facial moisturizer, all right? I was obsessed with, anti-aging. I was living in New York City, the land of the beautiful and everyone who just has a ton of money, and I had none, okay? I was not even out of college, and I was visiting, and I scraped up my little chunk change of savings to buy what was then a $250 1-ounce jar of Creme de la Mer facial moisturizer. Totally irrational purchase. Made no sense. Like, I don't even know if I had enough money for my bus ticket to get back home after that purchase. But I was so persuaded by La Mer's brand story that I put my all into it and I bought that product. Okay. And I was actually addicted to that product for a solid 5 years, until when I got married, my husband completely cut that off the budget. Right? But that's another story. But anyway, I bought into that story, not the actual product. All right. And that is what people do today. I am not the only one. All right. And there's also more responsible examples of that. But if you can truly put a story out there that connects with the right people, people will spend any amount of money to buy what you have to offer, because they want to be a part of that story that you are telling. And so it definitely works. So what is a brand story? All right, so this is a super duper popular term. It's a buzzword that everybody in marketing and in communications and just in business in general is throwing around right now. The word brand story. There's a lot of different definitions out there, but here's the one that I go by. And that is, a brand story is essentially a strategy that expresses 4 key things that tip every purchase decision under the sun. Why you exist, number 1. Number 2, what you have to offer and for whom. Number 3, what you believe. And number 4, what success looks like. All right. If you have a brand story and it does not express those 4 things or answer those questions to your customers, you don't have a brand story at all. And what makes this so special is that it is not able to be duplicated. So as you know, any old Joe or Jane can come along tomorrow and duplicate your product. They can come along tomorrow and duplicate your service offering. Anyone can come along tomorrow and duplicate your community, okay? But nobody can duplicate your story and the way you express these 4 things. That is your competitive advantage. So let me tell you what a story is not. It is not this long, drawn-out narrative about your humble beginnings, all right? I just love it when I go to, a startup's website and there's a page that says Our Story, and you click on it, and it's nothing but, I started this because this, or I was in my garage, and I was coding, and I was broke, and I was just trying to make a way out of nowhere. No one cares, that's important to you, but that is not your brand story. Your humble beginning is what fuels you as the entrepreneur in your business. But you have to be very careful how much of that you actually share with your customers and call it your story. Remember, we always want to keep in mind why people care. Why should they care? Another thing a brand story is not is the process you undergo to make your products, okay? That's the story of your manufacturing or the story of your creation. It's not your holistic brand story, all right? So any You know, let's say that you make shampoos, you know, and you have a page on your website that talks about the whole process that you go to source your ingredients and to, you know, formulate your shampoo products, and you tell that whole story. While that may be interesting, that is also not your holistic brand story. It is a story, but it is not your brand story. Remember, we want to answer those 4 questions. And finally, a brand story is not something that is just centered around yourself, okay, and your brand. The best brand stories keep their star characters at the center. And that star character is who we're going to dive into on step 1 of how to craft a brand story that only you can sell. But I want you to keep that in mind. One of you guys mentioned when you first logged on here is that you're struggling with how to take yourself out of it, how to get out of your own way. As we go through this training and these tips, I want you to kind of think objectively and to take yourself as the CEO and the founder out of it just a bit, so we can really craft a story that's going to stick with the people you want it to resonate with. All right. If you guys are just joining, there's a few more people who just joined us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are just setting up and defining what a brand story is. Please drop your name and your brand in the chat box, and feel free to share any questions you have as we go through here. All right, so the best brand stories are the ones that don't just sound nice, they sell. All right, that is really the reason why we're here. It's the whole point of taking the time to put together a story, is so that when you express the core elements of your story, it makes people want to buy. So those examples that I just gave you guys about, you know, someone sharing their humble beginning, or someone talking about the process they go through to actually make their products. Ask yourself, is this going to make my customer buy from me now? And if the answer is no, then we have some work to do. So we want to make sure it's not just pretty, it doesn't just sound cool, it makes people want to click that buy button to buy your products or to book your services. And the number 1 key to crafting an effective brand story is authenticity. Being real, being real, being real, all right? That is what is going to set your story apart from the rest. It's what's going to give you that leg up and that advantage against the people who are also offering some of the same things that you are offering. Okay, welcome. Okay, we have another, so Amber Meraki Organics has just joined us. Thank you very much for being here. All right, so keep it real, make it honest, and let it be raw. I always tell people, do not be scared to reveal what truly makes you special for fear of judgment or limitation in your story. Because there's someone out there who is going to connect to that thing that is honest and real to you. There's some customer out there who's going to prefer to buy from a brand like yours over the next one because of your realness, because of your authenticity. So don't be scared to show it, all right? So when we think about story, there's always a superhero or a star character in that story. And just like any superhero, your brand has an origin story. And that origin story is the authentic piece that only you can sell. And that's why you're here. That's why it's important for the founder or the entrepreneur to take this time to craft a brand story themselves and not necessarily to ship it off to someone else when you're at that early phase, all right? So people buy into the brand stories that feel real and authentic to them. So 3 principles for authenticity in your brand storytelling. And these 3 principles are what I know are going to give you storytelling success. And these are the ones that I have helped my clients implement for their own success, all right? So number 1, your people. There's nothing more authentic than you knowing who your people are and unapologetically marketing to them and them alone. Your promise, that is the other piece of authenticity that can help set you apart from your customers. You want to have a promise that really represents the mission behind your business. And finally, your beliefs. Your beliefs or your values are another piece of your communications that should be shared unapologetically, and something that can really make that customer say, hey, if I buy from this brand, I'm buying from a brand that also shares my values. I'm going to vote with my dollars and buy what they have to offer. Beliefs are so important for brands. So these are the 3 authenticity principles. If you want to take notes, write these 3 down. This webinar is also recorded, and I'm going to send you guys the replay. So don't worry if you don't want to take notes. So let's dive into it. All right, we're going to get into the nitty gritty, the action-packed part. So here we go. Number 1, know your people. Know your people, know your people, know your people. And by people, I mean your customers. So in marketing and in branding, in storytelling, the goal is not just to cut through the clutter and stand up and rise above all the noise out there, right? We know there's a ton of noise, there's a ton of competition. Anyone and everyone can create a business today, and you have to cut through that clutter. But the goal is not just to cut through that clutter and rise above the noise in general. It is to stand up and rise above the noise to your ideal customer. You want to break through to the people that you want to reach, not the whole world. Many marketers make the mistake of putting money toward advertising that targets a very general audience for fear of limitation. And I have seen so many dollars go straight down the toilet with that, overarching basket strategy. You have got to hyper focus your attention on who you want to reach and cut through the noise in their arena so that they know you exist. And so here's the point. No brand, including yours and including mine, can be all things to all people. You just can't. It's just impossible. You have to be something to your people. And in return, your people will buy from you. Let me give you an example. Do you remember what happened with Shea Radiance about 1.5 years ago? When they did their love-hate hair campaign, I think I'm getting the terminology wrong, but you guys know what I'm talking about. They did that campaign that showcased a very diverse group of women, including women with red hair and women with natural hair like mine, all different kinds of women, and tried to advertise their products. And there was an insane amount of backlash, and people were totally throwing this brand under the bus. They attacked their Facebook page. They denounced the brand. They swore to never buy from them again and go to other companies. Why did that happen? Why did that happen? If you have a guess, drop it in the chat box. I'll tell you why I think it happened. That happened because Shea Moisture tried to be all things to all people. And they put a campaign out there that isolated their people. And in exchange, their people set it off. They went crazy. They were infuriated, okay? And there are people today, including me, who will never spend another dime on that brand because they did not think their customers were worth celebrating and continuing to serve. So I don't want that to happen to you. That backlash was severe, and while they may have bounced back, everybody doesn't have millions of dollars in the bank to afford a comeback, right? When you're a startup, that kind of backlash can totally smash your business in its tracks. Your business can disappear tomorrow because of that. So I want you to remember, You have to be something to your people and stay focused on them. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts on that. So here's what you need to know about your people. All right, keep this in mind. There's 3 things you must know about your people to effectively communicate and sell your story to them. First thing, you have to understand their perspective. And I believe that most of you guys have taken the time to think about this, right? So what are the challenges your customers are facing right now? What are some of the hurdles that they've experienced in trying to solve the problems that they have? What other brands maybe have they tried to go to solve that problem, and what is still lacking out there? What's their perspective, on life, on this problem that they're having? But more importantly, what do they really want from your brand? So all customers have a challenge, right? Everyone is looking for some sort of solution. But underneath that surface level solution, people are looking to feel a certain way. And it's your job as the brand to understand what they really want to feel. So if you are selling a line of, matte lipsticks that have, kind of avant-garde colors, your customer may be looking for uniqueness. They may be looking to express themselves, right? They may be looking to showcase their creativity or to break the rules or anything like that. You have to consider what kind of emotion are people really looking to feel when they buy your products or services? What is their perspective? Second thing, their preference. What are your customers or your people motivated by? Do you know what gets them to buy? Because that's what's going to help you understand how you fit into your brand's life. So the La Mer example that I gave, obviously, I was not motivated by sales, right? So some brands who are higher priced, they've come to the conclusion through customer insights that the people who are buying from them are not price sensitive. They're not motivated by discounts or specials or deals or anything like that. Their motivators are more geared toward the emotions or maybe, how they want these products to reflect who they are as people. Take some time to figure out what your customers are motivated by, what their preferences are. I always kind of like to profile a customer and say, well, if you're selling this to them, if you're selling this, high-end, eco-friendly clothing line, you tell me, where does this customer buy her groceries? Where does she buy her makeup? What does she watch on TV? What podcast does she listen to? What music does she listen to? What are her preferences? You really need to dig deep into those things. Finally, you need to understand your customer's personality. Their key personality traits are just as important as your brand's personality traits. In an ideal world, the two would complement so that you can attract them. You also want to know what kind of language your customer speaks, because that is what's going to inform your brand message. And that's what's going to help you put words together in your social media, in your emails that actually have messages that matter to the people that you want to serve. You got to know their personality traits in order to do that effectively. So how do we do it, right? How do we get to know your customer's perspective, preference, and personality? First thing you can do if you're at an early stage in your business is you can take a guess, right? Take a guess. No startup knows its customer to the T, especially not in the early phase. So take a guess, all right? Here is a fun assignment. Set up a secret Pinterest board and start pinning images of who you believe your customer to be. may even be going off of some knowledge that you already have, because maybe you've come in contact with some of these people before already. So start to gather some images that represent, what this person might do for fun, where they live, what they like to read, maybe some of the products that they use, potentially your competitors, even some quotes they live by and the people that they look up to. Okay, put some of those into a secret Pinterest board. And this is a really fun activity, guys. I promise it's not going to feel like work. And I have found that it's really powerful visualizing your customer. It makes the storytelling so much more fluid and easy when you can imagine who you're talking to. So once you've done that, or if you have already done an exercise like that before, go ahead and confirm it. So, the quickest, cheapest way to confirm the insights that you think you know about your customers is to survey them. You can ask different questions like, what are your primary challenges when shopping for X, Y, and Z? What favorite quote do you live by? Before you purchased this product from me, or before you hired me, where were you going to solve your problems? Where were you going to book your vacations? Who were you going to help with your creative brand aesthetics? We have some other different kinds of companies here. Where were you currently purchasing your natural body care or your skin care? Ask some of these questions. And those of you who are tuned in live, I'm going to drop a link, okay, in the chat box at the end of the webinar, and I'll send it out via email in the replay as well. But I already have a customer perspective survey that I have put together for you guys with all the questions that you're going to need to ask your customers to get some insights around their perspective, preferences, and even their personality. Okay, so that's my bonus. Thank me later. I'm going to shoot that out to you guys along with the email copy that you can put in that message. So I promise all you're going to have to do is press send. But this is super duper important. Do not skip this step. Oh, you guys are saying thank you. You are so welcome. You guys are so welcome. All right. So does that make sense, everyone? Get to know your people and beyond just demographics. I don't want you to stop there, because if you do stop at demographics, your brand's going to sound quite general. All right. So really, really dig deep there. I always spend a lot of time on this because you cannot properly craft a story if you don't know who the star character in your story is. So I mentioned that before. Surprise, your customer is your star character. Do not overlook them. Second step, second authenticity principle is to make a promise that only you can keep. Brand promises are so, so, so powerful, you guys. They essentially sum up your mission in a few words. And they let the world know that when people buy into your brand, they're buying more than just a product or service. And this is the most important part of any brand story, is that statement that helps you make that promise to your customers. So I've had this conversation with a few of you guys over the past week, people who are really looking to try to get that summed up into words. So I want to show you how to do it. So here's a question I usually get asked. Can't I just have a really cool tagline? No. My answer is absolutely not. You need a brand promise, because a brand promise has the power to prompt customers to action. It also helps establish trust, and above all else, why you guys are here, it helps set you apart from your competitors. It makes your brand feel real. It lets people know you're here for a greater purpose than just to sell something on the surface level. So I'm sure you guys have seen, the recent campaign out there. Nike recently launched its 30-year anniversary Just Do It campaign. And they had Colin Kaepernick, this, very controversial athlete, as one of the stars in this campaign. And, you know, there's tons of debate out there around why they did this. Was he the right person? What are they risking? What do they seek to gain? What does Nike seek to lose in using this space? And I want to let you know that this was one of the most powerful and strategic moves this brand could have done in this decade. And the reason why is because they made a bold statement that perfectly aligns with their brand promise. This campaign expresses their promise in a way in the face of adversity, even when people don't want to hear it. And I love it, love it, love it, love it, absolutely love it. So here's Nike's promise that I'm talking about, and maybe this will help you understand why they did this ad. Nike's brand promise is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. You can look Nike up, you can Google Nike brand promise, and this is what will come up. And here's why I love this brand promise. It speaks to not just professional athletes, not even just people who, you know, are out there playing sports formally on a team. This brand promise lets the world know, everyone who even thinks they're an athlete like me, like I'm an athlete like probably once a week when I try to do yoga or tennis or something. They're letting you know that every athlete, at one point they even had wannabe athlete, every athlete in the world are the people that we want to reach. You are our people, and we're going to continue to bring inspiration to you, and we're going to continue to bring innovation through our products to you. They didn't say every athlete in the world who's currently, you know, under an NFL contract and didn't get fired. They said every athlete in the world. And Colin Kaepernick is still an athlete. And I love how they made this super bold statement by making him a huge face of this ad campaign, because they told the world that they're committed to keeping their brand promise regardless of what happens culturally and regardless of who does and doesn't like it. Let me know in the chat what you guys think of this campaign, because I know people have different thoughts. I love it, love it, love it. All right, so what makes a great brand promise? Before I get into this, a brand promise has a strong emotional. Okay, someone said, I love it. Good, good, good. All right. I don't want to have to start debating with you guys over Nike, so I hope everyone loves it. Leslie, you said you love it. Awesome. So a great brand promise, you know, we talked about what it has the power to do. There's 3 core elements in a strong brand promise, and I'm going to tell them to you, and I want to give you a formula to create your own, one that's just as powerful as Nike's. Here we go. So 3 core elements. First part is the emotional impact, all right? What you want your customers to feel after using your products and services. What is that emotional impact? That has to be infused into your brand promise. So with the Nike example, they want their people to be inspired. And that's why they said they want to bring inspiration. What's your emotional impact? After they've used their products, how are they going to feel? Next thing is your brand solution. What are you offering? And how can you generalize that a bit in a broader term? So the way that Nike generalized it is they said innovation. Because how can they even begin by putting a single product into their brand promise? I mean, they make everything, right? They make everything from keychains to sneakers to duffel bags to camping gear to soccer balls to kids' soccer balls. They make everything, right? So they sum that up into the word innovation. What's your brand solution summed up and generalized? Finally, your target customer. We already talked about your people. So who are your people? Who are the people that you want to reach? So let's reverse engineer a bit. Emotional impact, inspiration here for Nike. Brand solution, innovation. Their target customer, every athlete in the world. You can reverse engineer any brand promise like this and create your own as well. So if you follow these prompts, you'll be able to put your brand promise together as well. And once you have this, this is what I want you to plaster on the home page of your business, of your brand. It should be those first couple of words, that first powerful punchline that people see. Put it everywhere. That should also be your social media description. So, when you're starting your new Instagram for your brand, make sure you put your little brand promise up there, your couple of words, so people who are first coming in contact with you know exactly what you're about and who you're here for. Super duper important. Here's some more inspiration and examples. Starbucks. To inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. Great, great brand promise. That incident that actually happened at Starbucks a couple of months ago when they arrested those young men who were hanging out at Starbucks, I argued in an article that the backlash and the uproar from that incident wasn't just because there were some young Black men being arrested. It was because there were young Black men being arrested at Starbucks. Like, this is not supposed to happen at Starbucks. Starbucks is all about community and the human spirit and gathering over a cup of coffee or not, right? That's why we were so mad about Starbucks, because they broke their promise for that day. That's why there was the uproar. Another brand promise that I absolutely love is by a bra company called Third Love. Love the way you feel under each and every look. So they have pieces of those brand promise elements incorporated in theirs as well. Love the way you feel is that emotional impact under each and every look speaks to their product solution, which are bras and panties. Black and Green, this is one of my clients and actually where I'm currently buying all my self-care products. So Black and Green is an all-black marketplace by all Black artisans. They sell everything under the sun, and it's natural and it's organic. All the self-care products that you could dream of, you can find on Black and Green. And they have an awesome promise that I helped this founder create, and it's to curate, craft, and consume consciously for you. And the for you they're talking to is Black women. So, again, different pieces of the brand promise elements kind of swapped around here, but you can see how you can format yours in a way that works for your business. But one of the three or two of the three or all three of those elements should be there in order to make an effective impact on your business. So I hope that's helpful. That's the second authenticity principle that's going to help you tell your story and set your brand apart from the rest. Third and final one, you guys, is to share your beliefs without apology. Let me know in the chat if you have ever expressed some of your beliefs as a founder in your brand marketing or in your brand communications. Let me know if you've ever posted anything on social media that had a value or a belief that you stood by, or if you've ever sent an email or ran a campaign based on a belief that you hold dear. Let me know if you've done that. My guess is that you had an amazingly positive response to it. And that's because beliefs are what people connect to. Okay, so you guys are saying yes, great. So you're no stranger. Everyone's saying yes, awesome. So you're no stranger to the idea of sharing your beliefs. I want to persuade you to infuse your beliefs into your brand's core story and to make this a key part of your narrative and not just a one-off post or a one-off campaign. And here's why. Because if you don't stand for something as a brand, you will fall or fail easily for anything in business, anything. So you want to get personal, we want to get personal, your people want you to get personal. People connect with people. And people buy from the brands that share their same values, period. Today's customer is the customer that is essentially purpose-driven. These are the customers that want to vote with their dollars. Every purchase is a conscious decision, no matter how quick it is. It's an opportunity for your customers to say something with the money they have to spend. That's just how people buy today, you know, from a box of cereal to a lipstick to who they choose to trust, you know, book their travel, or who they choose to trust, coach them, and how, you know, life coaching, who they choose to trust with their self-care purchases, who they choose to trust to formulate their shampoos, who they choose to buy their clothing from, their shoes from. People are making purchases that say something today. Every shopper is doing that, no matter how insignificant the purchase may seem. And I'm sure you're doing it too, right? When Starbucks made that huge mistake, I boycotted Starbucks for a good period of time, and a lot of people did as well. It's because I don't want my dollars to be spent on a cup of coffee that tells them that their behavior is okay, right? And I know you guys feel the same way. Your customers feel the same way. You can flip it around on a positive note and say, I want to buy from a brand that showcases imagery of people who look like me in their advertising. So I saw a post earlier this week that someone actually decided not to buy something they were going to buy just because their advertising had nothing to do with who they were as a person. The advertising showed zero diversity, and it showed zero value for who that person was. And so she decided not to spend her money on that product, not to buy into that brand. You want to make sure that you are putting your values out there in a way that let people know why they should buy from you, and that that purchase is reflecting their values as well. So, how can you start to craft some of your brand values? Where do you start? Where do you begin? I've put together these 4 prompts to help you get started here. And then I'm going to show you an example of one that brings this to life. So, first prompt is your why. This is simple, guys. Why are you in business? What is the reason you are here? Why is the solution that you've created necessary? Why did you believe it to be essential enough to actually formulate a business around it? Your why. Another prompt, and this is a super duper easy and popular one that everyone has to have, your philosophy. How things should or should not be in your industry. So I branded a beauty retailer a couple months ago called Marjani. And Marjani was born out of the need that Black and brown women need shades of foundation and makeup that work for them, and that they want options. They don't want to have to go into a main stage retailer and go to the back of the store and see, you know, the 2 little red lip options for us, or these 3 additional, you know, brown foundation colors out of a 45 shade line, right? They've only given us 3 colors. They don't want that, right? We don't want that. So her philosophy was that shopping for your beauty products should not be this hard. It just should not be this hard. So what do you believe should or should not be in your own industry? What is your philosophy around your products and services and the challenges that people are having in that space? Another prompt, what are your values? The core concepts that drive your business. What are you fueled by? Is it integrity? Is it honesty? Is it transparency? Maybe it's efficiency. What are some of those values you have that are true core concepts that you really try to consider as you craft your products, as you market your business, and as you grow your business? What are those founding values that truly, truly drive you as the CEO? Finally, what are some of your customers' desires? Because you want these values that you put out to kind of mirror your customers' values. So what does your customer need to be assured of? What do they need to know? What do they need to be told about their challenges that lets them know it's okay? Here's a solution for you. Consider those 4 prompts, and those should help you really, really craft some of your brand beliefs. Let me know if those are helpful, guys, or if you guys already have some brand beliefs that are prompted from these. Are you already sharing your philosophy? Are you already telling the world why you're in business? Let me know. You can just drop a yes or a no. If you want to share one of your brand values, I would love to hear it. I'd love to see it. Type it in the comment box and let me know. If you want me to even evaluate one that you're thinking about, drop it in the chat box. Guys, this is the benefit of being live. I can help you right here and now. Okay, so Donette, you said quality is a brand value. That's awesome. So that's one of those core concepts that drives your business. And I have firsthand experience with Donette. If anybody on this call needs aesthetics or a look and feel for their brand, Donette is your go-to girl. She doesn't just pick colors and patterns and a vibe that looks cool. She really takes into account your brand personality and who you're trying to reach. And so I've seen firsthand that quality. And I love that that is one of your brand values, Donette. It's not just something you're going to do quickly, but you truly care about the quality of your offering. Okay, so Leslie, you said this is really helpful, to hone in on how to articulate your brand's core beliefs. Awesome, awesome. And I feel like, Leslie, you already have some of them from your experience in doing what you do. I think it's just a matter of, again, being objective, stepping outside of your business. I'll give you guys a secret. When I was kind of stuck a couple years ago in articulating what my brand values were, I asked some of my clients why they hired me, right? What was the thing that made them hire me over any other writer or any other brand storyteller? And some of their responses really helped me remember the driving values in my business. So if you ever get stuck, ask your people. They are your people for a reason. They are a limitless source to your brand building potential. Okay, awesome. I see you guys connecting here. Great, great, great. Perfect. So those are those are some prompts to help you craft your core values. I want to show you an example of some core values that I crafted for one of my clients, Heat-Free Hair. Now, I'm sure you've heard of Heat-Free Hair. Heat-Free Hair is a line of 100% exclusive textures for natural hair. All right. And they sell a variety of options for women who want to be gorgeous in that process of transitioning, into a natural lifestyle. Everything from wigs to clip-ins to wefted hair, they sell. And it is truly, truly authentic to the people this brand wants to reach. And I worked on their rebrand last year. And one of the things that I knew and we knew together was that having core values and beliefs was really going to let our customers know. In this huge crowded marketplace where we've got knockoffs popping up left and right, we're going to let people know that they're buying into more than just hair with us. They're buying into a journey that we are taking with them. And we really, really work to articulate that through these core values. So I'm going to share these with you guys right now. We call them, can everyone see my screen? I hope you can. If you can't, let me know. So we call these core values 10 beautiful beliefs. And they are essentially 10 beautiful beliefs about the hair, our people, and your journey. So you can see how we're bringing the people into this. We're bringing the product into this, and we're bringing ourselves, as the brand into this. So let's go through some of these. I won't walk through all of them. But one of those values, it's more than just hair. So speaking about that product, letting people know this is bigger than just hair, right? We understand, how you want to feel and what hair does for you. Another one that's a huge one that really drives a lot of the product innovation is that natural knows no limitation. right? And so you can see in this picture the versatility of Heat Free Hair's product offering. And that's because this brand truly believes that there is no limitation to what a natural look can look like. So another value around the product. So some values around, the driving concepts is that we own it. So unlike a lot of the competitors in this space, Heat Free Hair is actually Black owned. It's owned by Black women who are also on this natural hair journey. They own their own factory. They own their own manufacturing. They own it. And that is a huge purchase motivator for the customers looking to buy something authentic from people who know what they need. So another brand value. And then we had some values that really, really were speaking to the customer. Okay, so this one was huge. We're just like you. When we look in the mirror, we see not just ourselves, but the women who we also want to be. We understand the journey to look beautiful because we live it every day. We're just like you. Now you tell me somebody who's not going to want to buy from someone who's just like them and who understands their struggle and has created a product that has first solved their own problem. It's powerful. It's a powerful value and belief to share. Those core concepts, right? We run on passion and perfectionism. Okay, so this is just a few examples, guys. You can look gorgeous in the process. So reassuring that customer that no matter what stage that they're in this hair journey, that they can look gorgeous throughout the process. So I just wanted to share that snapshot with you so you can see how this can play out in your own brand, how you can kind of separate your driving concepts, your driving beliefs with what your customer needs to be assured of, how you can really put it all together there. It's super duper important, and it's something that should definitely hold its own real estate on your business webpage. So I hope that those 3 principles were super duper helpful for you guys. Drop a comment and let me know what you guys plan on implementing first. So here's what you're walking away with. And I'm super duper excited because these are the foundational principles that you need to really, really craft a strong brand story that's going to sell. So now you know the right questions to ask your customers to help you foster a deeper and more profitable connection with them. That's what we want to do. You want to know your people and make sure that your people are buying from you. You also have a brand promise framework that you can use to put together your own phrase that's going to go smack dab on the front cover of your website. And that is what's going to help you stand apart from your competitors. Finally, you have some prompts that are going to help you communicate the values that are going to tip your customers' purchase decisions. So that's what you're walking away with. I really hope that was helpful, and I'm really, really excited for you guys to take this foundational step in crafting that brand story that is going to sell. These authenticity principles are the same ones that I've helped my clients implement to use to land major wholesale contracts, guys, nationwide, media features in Inc., Elle, Vogue, Forbes, and they've also scaled from 5 to 6 figures and 6 figures to 7 figures. I've worked with clients like Black and Green, Camille Rose, Shea Radiance, Heat Free Hair, and a bunch of others, early stage ventures who are really, really looking to have success and sell through story. I am here because I want to help you build the strongest, most authentic foundation for a brand story that truly, truly sells. And this is that starting point. This is where you want to begin, with that authenticity. All right. And so now that we have that captured, I want to keep this thing going. I really, really want to continue to serve you and continue to mentor you and help you and give you the tools and resources that you can use and implement along this journey to build your own brand story. And one of the things that I have created to help you do just that is something called Customer Kamikaze. And I'm going to take just a few minutes to walk through it and let you know how you can continue to craft a brand story that really, really, really sells. So if you're like me, or if you're like any entrepreneur, you know, and at least you now know, that the star character in your brand story has to be your customer. And that's why I put that know your people first in this training, because that is the most important thing that you can do in the beginning of your business. And if you don't do that, that's the quickest way to fail in your storytelling. It's the quickest way to ensure that your business is not going to be here tomorrow if you don't know who your customer is. And so knowing who your customer is, really grabbing and understanding that perspective, that preference and personality is what I have worked to develop this framework that I would love for you to grab hold of and implement in your business. It is called Customer Kamikaze, Customer Kamikaze, and it's my 3-part framework. It's my proven framework that I've used with all of those clients that I mentioned to you earlier. Customer Kamikaze is for entrepreneurs just like you who are in the stage that you're in and facing the challenges that you're facing. And it helps you learn, define, and better understand who your customers are so that you can build that meaningful and profitable connection with them. You want to build a brand story that sells, you absolutely have to know who these people are. So I have put together this new kind of marketing mix that splits up these dimensions of your customer into these 3 parts, into this framework. So you're going to start with perspective, and you're going to take a deeper dive beyond that survey that I send you to figure out the true emotional triggers of your target customers. Knowing their emotional triggers is going to help you position your brand properly and understand how to create the right products and the right service packages that truly, truly meet their needs. But you can't do that unless you understand their perspective. The second part of Customer Kamikaze is a super deep dive into their preferences. And we're going to go really, really, really deep. That survey is just the starting point. We're going to dig into key motivators and some of the psychology behind what motivates people in general. We're going to dig into customer archetypes and how your brand can be positioned as another role in your story to really, really attract this customer to your business. You're going to understand how to get them to buy from you effortlessly without being salesy. And then finally, the third part of Customer Kamikaze, or CK, how I like to call it, is personality. All right. You absolutely have to know not just your customer's personality traits, but you need to know how they talk, where they're talking, what language they use, and more importantly, what language and words get them to click and buy. So going into the training on personality and taking that deep dive is going to help you speak to your customers in a way that gets them to listen. It grabs their attention. As we talked about earlier, it's going to get you through that noise, cut through that clutter to your people. You're going to speak a language that really, really sells. So here's what happens when you apply this 3-part framework to your business. Number 1, you're going to have absolute clarity on what new product, service, or event to create next. And that's because you're going to know exactly what your customer wants from you, right? You're going to know their triggers. You're going to know what they need and what they want. So you're going to be able to quickly create that next big thing your customer needs before they even know they need it, right? And that's when you know you're in business, when you have created a product before it's even been asked of you. And it sells. That's the best part. This is what's also going to happen. You're going to have marketing that's finally going to attract the right people to your business. So no longer just any old Jane and Joe coming onto your website, bouncing right back off, never buying from you, wasting your time on discovery calls. Knowing your customer is going to help you set up marketing that pulls qualified leads into your business, because you are going to have those motivators mastered, and you're going to have your positioning airtight. It's going to be so perfect that your brand is going to automatically funnel the right people into your business. It's going to funnel them faster than your competitors can, because you would be positioned in just the right spot. You're also going to have personalized brand messaging that connects. So here's the thing. It doesn't just sound nice. It actually works. It converts. So when you go through Kamikaze, you're going to get directions and insight on how to tailor your website's about page. You're going to know how to give your social media strategy a complete facelift, one that's actually going to get people to click, convert, and buy when they click that link. And your overall brand message is going to attract your customer. It's going to pull in your person. I'm going to show you how to set up an inner circle so that these results don't just stop, so that you always have this constant stream of feedback that you can use to continue to perfect your brand story and your brand experience. I want you guys in the framework. I'm offering it to you now, and I'm offering to do it live. So this is a standalone digital product that I recently released, and you can see the results that some of the people have had from applying this 3-part framework. So Ngozi Opara, one of my all-time favorite clients, the founder and CEO of Heat Free Hair, after we applied this framework, she was able to understand what her customers really, really wanted from her. And as a result, the way that the brand is communicated today is totally different. Her business is growing, people are responding to their message, and sales are on the rise. And that is the effect. That's what happens when you build your story around your customer. I already talked about who I am, what I do. I am a brand storyteller, and I know for a fact that this framework, this foundational customer kamikaze application works, it works, it works, and it's super duper easy, guys. It's super duper easy. I previously offered this as a self-paced online course. I'm offering it to you at the same exact price that I was selling the self-paced course for. I'm offering it to you at the same price, but I'm gonna do it live. So the way that we're vibing and kicking it now, doing live training, chatting back and forth, our group environment here together where we can collaborate and get to know one another, I'm gonna do that for you within Customer Kamikaze. Each week, we're gonna go through a module. You're gonna get homework. I'm gonna host a live training and be here to answer your questions along the way. For this same price of $397, or if you want to split it up and do 5 payments of $97, you're going to get me live. I'm also going to offer you a 1-hour Customer Kamikaze deep dive analysis with me in the month of October. So you're getting a lot. You're getting a value that my private clients usually pay me about 10 times more than this price to actually do for them. And I'm offering it to you guys today. So if you sign up today, within the next 24 hours, I'm going to honor the same price, and I'm going to put you in the live group where I have limited seats. We're going to launch October 1st. We're going to run through Customer Kamikaze together. I'm going to be hands on in your business, and I am going to help you implement this and put your story together. I'm going to drop this link right here in the chat so you can sign up, take a look, learn more about Customer Kamikaze. You can sign up today, guys. There's really nothing to even think about. That $97 deposit secures your spot into this live coaching program that I'm offering only to the people who signed up for this webinar. So if you want to learn how to effectively take what we talked about, those authenticity principles, and really personalize them for your people. If you want to figure out how to get your words to work and how to position your brand properly, or if you're trying to figure out how to take your idea into a profitable business that is actually existing and operating, Customer Kamikaze can help you do just that. And I'm going to be here along the way, coaching you through and answering any and all questions that you have. So I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to open this up to Q&A. Drop your questions. Let me know what you guys are struggling with right now. Let me know if you know your people, or if you want to get to know more about their perspective, preferences, and personality. What do you guys not know? What do you need the most? Ask me anything. I know we're a little bit over our time here, but I'm going to make myself available for the next few minutes to answer any questions that you guys have about Customer Kamikaze, or even about those authenticity brand storytelling principles that we just went through in our training. Ask me anything. Remember, this link is here. It is live, and you can sign up today to join me so we can keep this branding party going, and I am going to be your partner in your brand story creation. Okay, so I see you guys dropping links, connecting with one another. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, someone said, thank you. You are absolutely welcome. Okay, I have another Amber here. I love that. You are absolutely welcome, Amber. I would love to have you. I would love to keep this thing going. I'd love to have you guys in Customer Kamikaze Live. This is what's really going to transform your business and personalize your story for maximum impact. Okay, Leslie, you said great. Awesome. I'm glad this was helpful for you. I'm really, really glad. Those of you that do have to tune off, I'm going to send this link out in the replay. You're going to have 24 hours to sign up. Let me know if you have any questions about what we talked about. Okay, Marilyn said, super, thanks. Awesome. Okay, so question. Okay, so will Customer Kamikaze help me with my social media marketing? Yes, yes, yes. So Customer Kamikaze will absolutely help you with your social media marketing. So if you think about social media marketing, effective social media marketing is all about personalization. It's all about telling this story in a way that triggers the people who you want to reach to do something, right? Any piece of content marketing is about serving that customer and then serving your business. And so Customer Kamikaze helps you figure out how to serve that customer so that that call to action can be personalized and also serve your business. So you're going to figure out what language they speak, right? Through the training and through the exercises, you're going to know what kind of messaging that your brand should put out to respond to them. How your brand promise should even be worded and what kind of personality you can infuse into it to get people to connect to it and to get people to buy into it. So to answer your question, yes, Customer Kamikaze can help you with your social media marketing. Okay, so Bianca said this was really beneficial for me. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You are absolutely welcome, Bianca. All of you guys who have stuck around with me here, I am so glad that you all signed up and that you are prioritizing story in your marketing and just thinking about that at this early stage in your business. Shoot me any questions that you have. You can always reach me after this webinar. You can email me personally at amber@punkyflair.com. I'm dropping my email in the link here in the chat box. And just let me know what you need from me. If you feel like you already have a grasp on your customer and you need help actually crafting your story, the actual words, and putting it together verbatim, I can help you with that as well. That's what I help my entrepreneur clients with on a regular basis. So just let me know how I can help, and look out for more information about Customer Kamikaze and how you can take this learning further. So thank you so much for being here. I had so much fun. I can't wait to do this again with you guys soon. Hopefully you'll join me for Customer Kamikaze in October, and I will talk to you soon. Good luck crafting that story that I know only you can sell. Peace out. Have a good Wednesday. Bye.